Happy Halloween! We're gonna play Manos, the Hands of Fate, a computer game based on the movie Manos, the Hands of Fate. Quite possibly one of the worst movies ever made, and it actually got a computer game in 2012. How is this computer game? It's interesting. So let's start it up, I guess. Okay? Let's do it. I wonder where the Valley Lodge could be. It surely couldn't be to the right. No, of course not. So this is our protagonist, Mike. He's got a gun and he jumps. So, you know, it's your classic 8-bit jump and shoot game. I'm fond of those. You got gems and cute snakies and all sorts of stuff, so, while we're playing around with that and grabbing shotguns, let's talk about Manos, the Hands of Fate, the film, as we dodge, this sort of stuff. This is straight from the movie, this kissing couple, and that's something that Manos is known for. Being a disjointed, ungodly mess of a film. It was made by a guy named Harold P. Warren, who also played the starring role in the film, the guy we're playing as right now, incidentally. And he made it for like $20,000. Oh, these Hands of Fate are important too, because they increase your health, and that's good. And it's good to get all of them, which we will be doing, because I'm good at video games or something. But Harold P. Warren made this movie for $20,000, and he didn't know how the hell to make movies, apparently. It's apparent if you ever watch Manos, given that Manos is a mess of a film. It's terrible, but it has its moments like Torgo. He takes care of the place when the master's away. It's simple. Well, he's holding the lodge, so let's just go and say hello to... Oh, what did... Master would not... Don't you tell me what Roger Delgado would and would not approve of. I'll pump you full of lead, Torgo. Yeah, this movie kind of has a cult following, and Torgo is... strange. That's his actual theme in the movie, just 8-bit-ized, but... Let's move on to the second stage here, why not? Oh. That's discomforting. Oh man, we even got a gumball machine. So, the way I saw this movie, which I'm unfortunate enough to have seen, and the way a lot of people probably have seen it, is through Mystery Science Theater 3000. Even riffing robots couldn't save this thing for me. It was a slog. And that's how I judge really bad things. Something like, I don't know, Alien Resurrection, which is a stupid, dumb alien movie that I recently saw and absolutely loved. Even something like that, you can just laugh at. Manos, there's no laughing. It's just bad. And it's dull. I tend to judge bad movies based on how much I would rather be doing anything else other than watching this bad movie. And Manos was... This was rough. So we've established that Manos is a bad movie, but the game's actually pretty good. But that's not the only bad thing about this game and its legacy. See, because this is an interesting sort of thing. It was made by Freak Zone Games, and this was one of their first games, but they went on to make another little jump and shoot game last year, which was the Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures. A game that I played and absolutely detested. It was just a big reference fest, and it was hard for the sake of being hard. Like, hey, here's 1,000,000 instant death blocks. We're a hard game, just like those old ones you played back on the NES. Except ignoring the fact that no friggin' game on the NES ever did anything like that. No. They just didn't understand a hard game. A hard game is not, hey, let's just put 1,000,000 death blocks here for you to be killed by. No. You gotta have nuance, you gotta have subtlety, you gotta have design with it. You can't just plop the same instant death blocks over and over in every level and say, hey, okay, hard game done. Go beat it. The good ones, the good things like Mega Man or Castlevania or whatever, they had design decisions, they had tricky things. They were brilliant. AVGN Adventures was not brilliant. It was terrible. It existed to piss you off and to reference the AVGN as much as possible to make you go, I get that joke! That's a rather ominous painting. Hello, Thriller-era Michael Jackson. Nice mustache. Oh yeah, this is the second boss. Shoots fire at its hands. Are these the hands of fate? No, fucking no. This boss is pretty simple. I mean, even if I just had the pistol, he'd be pretty simple. So, he's done, and we're going to go on to level 3 here. Now, the surprising thing about Manos, the Hands of Fate, the game, is that it's actually pretty good. I mean, let's just take stock here. It's made by a developer who went on to make my most hated game of 2013. Based on one of the worst movies ever made. The fact that this manages to actually be somehow half-decent is incredible. I'm frankly amazed. Of course, it does have its little difficult moments. A cute little trick there where I lost the shotgun by getting hit by one of those homing eyeballs. Yeah. AVGN Adventures did that trick too. It had a super scope that you lost if you got hit once. It also had these spinny mace things. Yeah. There's a lot of elements between the games that Freak Zone reused. I get the feeling that they don't have too many tricks in their magic toolbox. But this still manages to be decent. I mean, I got it on a Humble Bundle with a bunch of other games for like $1, so the price was right. For $1, this is actually pretty good. I mean, it was like a iPhone, iOS sort of mobile game thing before they actually made like this little standalone Windows version. It's not on Steam or nothing. It's just an exe that you run, but it's decent, you know, and it's in the spirit of Halloween. It's got a lot of crazy B-movie in-jokes to it, but they don't overwhelm the piece. They're just sort of there. It's different from the AVGN Adventures. It's not the entire point of the game. And again, you'd be playing a game based on one of the worst movies ever for the camp value, you know. Oh, so bad it's good. Except Manos actually wraps around to be kind of good. But there are moments that I don't like, and this is one of them, the 3rd level boss. Straight out of some stupid 50s B movie, it's the Giant Claw. It's as big as a battleship or something. It's got a mohawk, and well, it's also a boss in the AVGN Adventures, proving again that Freak Zone kind of a one-trick pony, but the boss design is what gets me here. So it has one attack here, and its attack consists of moving its head rhythmically and trying to hit you. And it doesn't get any more complex than the more you hit it, the faster it moves. Oh, that's it. There's no crazy second phase, there's nothing, it's just a stupid little boss. Oh, yeah, we'll make it harder by, I don't know, speeding it up. That's just 2 lines of code, I guess. If you hit it 20 times, speed increases to 2x. There, I'm done. I'm hitting the boss hard. Oh, come on. That's not even... Ugh. You don't deserve that. And Castlevania 2 is much better than Manos, the Hands of Fate. Is Castlevania 2 better than Manos, Hands of Fate, the game, though? That's a debate. I don't know. I have nostalgic memories of Castlevania 2. Now you're just making me talk about Castlevania 2 instead of Manos, the Hands of Fate, but... This level is where things start to get a little hard. You've got some annoying enemies in the auto-scroll section. These little bouncing goblin things, whatever they are. Ooh, they are bad. And of course, this guy comes back. That's great, too. I like that. Stop littering, you jerk! God! Think of the environment. Captain Planet is gonna come down and punch you in the goddamn throat for what you're doing. He just keeps drinking, too. I haven't seen the movie in a couple years. I remember there being a couple making out, but I don't remember him drinking that much. Jesus Christ. All in all, though, this level isn't so bad. The auto-scroll really just exists to sort of slow you down. There's, like, maybe one part where you've got to kind of gun it. And that's really only to get the next Hand of Fate. I think it's coming up. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, you kind of got to gun it here to get the Hand of Fate. You can go a little faster, I suppose, or a little slower, whatever you want to do, but I tend to just take it fast and get this stupid hand. There it is. It's weird because once I managed to jump up as it was scrolling there before that little section began and just walk on the ceiling or something. I thought that was how you were supposed to do it, but no, I guess I just broke the game. Really weird when you think about it, but oh well. These damn hobgoblin things, whatever they are. At least they gave me another shotgun. That's good, that's good. This game's kind of spooky. Of course, not as spooky as watching Manos, the Fate. I wonder, what horror movies have you been watching for Halloween? I mean, I did the Alien movies, like I said, but I haven't done Manos, the Hands of Fate. I'm not going to do Manos, the Hands of Fate, though. I don't want to watch that movie. I certainly don't want to watch that movie in its original form without riffing robots, because that would just... That just sounds like a recipe for disaster. I'm pretty sure some people have already done it, but my god. I don't think man was meant to go through that level of bad movie. That's because man has seen the Twilight films, for Christ's sakes. Voluntarily, because he's a big dumb idiot. That has nothing to do with anything right now. I'm just waiting this level out. The auto-scroll really doesn't add anything to it. It just slows it right down. I had to wonder what Freakzo was thinking. I'm not sure. There are a couple of moments where it gets difficult. Ooh. Otherwise, it's just stock. Okay, are we gonna fight the werewolf? Is that what we're doing now? Come on, Harold Warren. Get with it. Oh no! Peppy! Not Peppy. I don't know who Peppy was. He was the dog that you saw at the beginning. Beginning of stage 2. Yeah, they had a doggy. Of course, there's other doggies in this game, I'm sure. Scary doggies. We'll come to them very slowly. Yep, we got a pissed off scary Doberman. German Shepherd or whatever it is, it's mad and it wants to bite our face off. It just jumps. It just jumps and moves sort of erratically. That's its attack pattern. Contact damage. Well, then again, it's a dog. What am I expecting? Dracula fireballs? Yeah. Okay, this is kind of stupid here. Okay, so we got this weird auto-scroll section. Except they changed the shooting controls on you. To begin with, I'm playing on the old Xbox controller. So A was shoot, now B is shoot, as you can see on this thing, because it's they didn't even take the iPhone touch interface out of it. And there's another thing about this level. One hit kills you. Of course, they are nice enough that the one-ups, the hand things that you should drop, always come back. So, you're never going to run out of lives here. It's just kind of annoying. So they all of a sudden just change the rules and throw one-hit kills at you. Kind of like Battletoads or some shit. I mean, there were no biplanes in Manos, and there certainly wasn't Torgo in a biplane trying to dogfight you like it was World War frigging 1. That never happened. No. This theme is nice. Oh, we're already pretty much done this level because, oh look, we get to fight the giant goddamn claw again. At least they added something to this fight. He's moving his head around, but instead he does get faster. But you also have to contend with Torgo. Okay, there you go. You added something, a new wrinkle to make the fight a little more challenging. Just a little more, that's all. So, for some reason, this level always reminded me of Zelda 2. I mean, you've got the bubbles rising from under the screen. You've got that, which is always Zelda 2. And then the cave itself, that looks just like a cave in Zelda 2. It's got the same color palette, the same sort of texture on the rock. It's the same goddamn thing. Somebody at Freak Zone really liked Zelda 2. And, well, I can't fault him for that, because Zelda 2 is pretty marvelous, really. Yeah, I hope he knew how to do this, because otherwise you're not going to get the Hand of Fate. But it's ours now. Excellent. By the way, this is the second to last level. Just seeing that we're almost done already. This is not a big long game, and yeah, I like that, you know. Brevity is the soul of wit. After all, you don't need no multi-stage hour-long epic. Just a 20-minute computer game about a dumb, stupid movie that you kind of like to laugh at. I guess that's the design decision behind making a video game based on frickin' Manos, the Hands of Fate. Who else would do this? Of course, there also seems to be more of a love for just stupid, dumb B movies in general. I mean, the giant claw, for God's sakes. Or the boss of this level. Which is another actual reference I get. To anyone else, it's just sort of seem like it's just a stupid thing. But I do admire the tone they're trying to take here. They're not just trying to reference things for the sake of things. They're making a theme here. This is like a celebration of B movies, in my eyes. It's kind of like the new Monster Party. Except Monster Party was a hell of a lot weirder than Manos the Monster Party. And I say this, having just beaten a level where you shoot a giant bird as big as a battleship while riding in your biplane. And Monster Party was more weird than this. But they're really ratcheting up with the bubbles and the maces and these stupid zombies or whatever the hell. They're creating some difficulty. Of course, this game isn't really that difficult. You saw that I had like goddamn 17 lives. They really throw one-ups your way, so it's not like super hard or nothing. And they rarely play with one-hit kills. It's not like AVGN Adventures. That plain level is really the only spot where they play with the whole one-hit death nonsense. I don't think I've even seen any spikes in this game, for God's sakes. Oh, but here's our boss. It's Robot Monster. Star of the 1950s movie, Robot Monster. He's a man who has to kill all the humans, and his boss fight looks intimidating with all these bubbles and spike balls, but it's actually easy because all Robot Monster does is jump around. So you just move to where he's not going to land and shoot him when he lands. That's the fight. I like this. They're just acknowledging the goofiness. I don't know if Mr. Science Theater 3000 did a Robot Monster or not. I would hope they did, because Robot Monster is absolutely idiotic, the sound of it, but it's time for our final level. Yeah. And Torgo decides to pull a Knuckles and chuckle while pressing the switch, and we get the stage. Which is kind of like in Castlevania 3 when the levels would do this. Where you climb vertically and the thing would slowly collapse, and if you're at the bottom of the screen when it's collapsing, you're dead. So I guess that's an instant thing, but then again, if we count pits as instant death, man, that doesn't count, and you know it. Well, it can count, I guess, but this isn't really the same sort of thing as other hard games where it's like they edge guard every single goddamn jump with like something that pops out of the pit or a Ninja Gaiden bird or some shit like that. Manos doesn't do that. Thank God for it, too. They could have made this game hard as fuck and aggravating, but they didn't. I don't understand. Maybe Freak Zone just works in themes. Like the theme for this one was, I want to pay tribute to all the B movies. And the theme to AVGN Adventures was, we want to make a game as bad as everything that he rails on. And by God, they succeeded. Because AVGN Adventures was really bad. But this is pretty good. We got all the hands, though, so good. Good on us. It wasn't so hard. A couple of them were a little well hidden, but I found them all, because I'm cool. So all I gotta do is just wait and ascend the Tower of Death here, and this is tricky, you just gotta wait stuff out. So, I do like how they're really generous with one-ups, though. It's nice. I mean, to go back to AVGN Adventures, because, I mean, Freak Zone games, I'm just making this comparison all day. They gave you 30 lives for every level, and oftentimes that wasn't enough. On easy, you had infinite, so that's fine, but... Alright, final confrontation time. We've got a two-part boss fight. The first, something straight out of the movie. The Master's harem of wives. All look identical. This is just a little problematic. Shooting the shit out of possessed zombie brides. It's just a little tad insensitive. Just a bit. Tiny bit. But now we see that Manos, the Master, or whatever the hell his name is, has possessed your wife and child and is gonna turn them into his zombie slaves. Hey, Bird's Torgo's hand off, and now we get to fight him. And his glorious mustache. Oh, Doom, I'll show you a goddamn hand, you bastard. Okay. So this is a Dracula fight. He teleports and he shoots fire. Are you hoping for any other attack? Too bad. That's it. So it's really a crapshoot. Sometimes he teleports on top of your face and that works. Other times he teleports far away from you and you got time to get off a shot or two and avoid the fire. This is the fight. There's nothing to it, really. It's pretty easy for a final boss of a game. I mean, this ain't no Astaroth. Well, Astaroth and Ghosts and Goblins original was pretty easy too, but... he's dead. And that's the game. So here's the good ending. I don't know what the bad ending is, but... yeah, like your movie isn't recommended. Everyone's okay, too, so that's it. That's the end of the computer game. Here's our credit roll. So, that was Manos. It was a quick little one-off. It's a good game, I would say. It's a little short, a little lacking in, like, real substance. It's just a stupid thing to play for 20 minutes. I mean, it was made as a phone game, so I guess I understand that, you know. Just something to dick around with while you're waiting for the bus or whatever, you know? It's good. Way better than AVGN Adventures. I do hope the Freak Zone makes another game that's actually pretty good. They've got promise. Manos proves it. They can get beyond their, like, oh, let's make a game like old games mentality. And make something a little more original. That'd be great. Something that just doesn't dick around the tropes and whatnot. And again, that'll happen, but whatever. Vic, yeah, Mr. T3K, of course. Don't you start teasing. There's not gonna be no Manos 2. That's not happening. So shut your face. Anyway, this has been Manos, The Hands of Fate. This is a good game. I kind of like it. I hope you liked it and liked watching it. And that music is gonna fade out anytime, I swear. There it goes. See, I'm super. I'm good at this. Okay, great, yeah. All right. So happy Halloween, and see you for whatever the hell happens next. Bye now.